Yo, 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 what up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? Uh-oh. I'm trying to get this right, man. What's up, y'all? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. There we go. It's Dave Life. You're watching Dave Life After Dark. You're watching Dave Life After Dark, man. This is the After Dark podcast. And I'm looking for my mood music. Where is my mood music, y'all? I can't do this without my music. I gotta get my music right. Hope y'all there it is. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Let's set this off. Here we go. Had to find my mood music. Hey. All right, we in the building now, man. What's up, lifers? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. You're watching the After Dark podcast. This is episode, I believe, 286. Episode 286. A woman's expectation of wealth. A woman's expectation of wealth. Subtitle: Why do some women only date men of means? Why do some women only date men of means? Look, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, so I want to say thank you. I appreciate that, man. Let's start this off like we always do, the right way. Dear Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people. I pray that you would enlighten us, entertain us, and inform us, Lord. Help me bring something fun tonight and interesting. Less of me and more of you, I pray. I also pray that you forgive us of our sins that we've committed by both commission and omission, Lord. Charge it to our head and on our hearts. Help us have a wonderful conversation and help us bring joy to everybody tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. What up, y'all? So we're going to bring everybody in one by one like we always do. I got my sister from another mister. You know what? I'm not going to say what she calls herself, but she's definitely Latino. And she is the host and proprietor of Inside the Drinker Studio. So that means she likes to invite. And you know what? I'm not mad at her. Come on to the stage, Michelle F. What's up, Michelle?
You're not mad at me. Like, what do I call myself?
You know what? I'll let them watch the other episode we did.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi.
What's up, Michelle?
It's good to be on this Monday.
You know what? Now they're waiting, so I gotta say it. What is a wet chicken? Wet chicken? What is that?
A wet chicken.
What did you say the other day?
I said white chicken.
Oh, white chicken. Well, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. What is a white chicken?
I don't know what a wet chicken is, but you know.
I mispronounced the word. I knew it was white, and I knew it was white and Mexican.
I mean, you know, the derogatory one, the wet bag one. That's.
Oh no! That's not what I was saying.
No.
White chicken. It means you're merging the two.
Yeah, it means that like there's a lot of American influence on Mexican people like me.
I feel Americanized. I got you.
Yes, very Americanized. Not just like, you know, because I'm not white at all. I mean, I got some color.
Tracking.
It's
tracking. Well, I got a brother. I guess I don't know. Would he be? Are you considered black Mexican? Or what? Come on to the stage, though. I'm like, are we? I don't know what to call it. What do you call an Americanized black person? I don't know if you just call. We can't say African American because. Oh Lord, yes, that is what America calls us. And you know what? Your screen name, which people may not know, is that nigga in particular. So
yeah.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
That was, yeah, I love it. I love it. Man, we starting to show off right. We already getting to it. Wow. All right. The next person I have, sister from another mister. Raise your hand if you're ready, my friend. Are you ready? Yes, I'm talking to you, young lady. Are you ready? Wave your hand. She not waving her hand. Oh, you said 1 second? Okay, she not ready yet. No, you're not on. Should I bring you up? I'm about to bring you up. Okay, I'm bringing her up. What's up? What's up, Yvette?
I was like, I know he's talking to me or not. I'm good.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. I missed you.
I miss you too, Miss Eva. It's been a while. I needed another lady with me in here.
And I'm here.
Yay.
Ready for the holidays? Hello. I'm sorry. My bad. Hello, host, Mr. Dave Life. And hello,
Oh
Mr.
no,
Dolomite.
what's up, Yvette? Yeah, this is you remember
Good
Uncle
evening.
Dolomite, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
nice to meet you.
So you and Michelle haven't been on the show together in
In a
minute.
while.
Since the last, I don't even know if you were on that one. Were you on the last episode? The one where
You weren't on the one about the election, Yvette.
No, I wanted to, but I just couldn't make it. I wanted to just chime in, but my eyeballs was watching me.
Yeah, so no, she was on the one we did about how do you feel after the election. So that was
heavy.
It was heavy, but you know what though, it was good. And shout out to everybody that participated because we kept it real friendly and cordial and copacetic. Even though emotions did get high about certain things because it was a heavy topic, everybody was professional and handled it well, man. So shout out to everybody that participated on that episode. You guys will see it. Yvette, I'm trying to figure out, do I want to play something political on Thanksgiving? I don't know if I...
Nah, keep it light.
Keep it light?
Keep it light. Right. Let families eat without,
fighting.
Leg, somebody wearing the turkey on their head and stuff. Okay. Just keep it light.
Maybe if we can get people together to record tomorrow, maybe that one will air on Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be cooking and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so look, y'all, the topic tonight, you guys, is a woman's expectation of wealth. Why do some women only date men of means? Why do some women only date men of means? Does everybody know what I mean when I say men of means? You mentioned it earlier, Uncle Dolomite. What do I mean when I say ballers? Ballers. Why do some women only date ballers? That is the question. And I'm going to get into that, and I want to ask the ladies on the panel how y'all feel about a man's wealth and knowing his status and all that stuff. And we're gonna get into that in a second. But first, I want to show you guys one or two small things that I think are going to help us out. One is this right here. Lisa Ray from Players Club and other movies. Lisa Ray was recently on an interview, and she had something to say about dating. Let me show you guys what she said. All right, so this is like a little excerpt from someone's Twitter, but they summarized the interview. It says 57-year-old actress Lisa Ray says she only dates wealthy men to avoid stressing them out by trying to keep up with their lifestyle. I'm assuming to avoid stressing out men that aren't wealthy from trying to keep up with their lifestyle. She says, if it takes the man's whole paycheck to take me to a lunch, you cannot hang with me. You're still wanting weekend vacations. I go on month-long vacations. So she's saying that she doesn't really do it because it can challenge certain men that can't afford that. I have the interview, and I want to get into that, but just reactions to that initial thought of, I'm going to stress you out if you can't keep up with me.
Nice, she's considerate.
You think she's considerate, Michelle?
I'm making fun of it, of course. I'm being critical.
Well, I mean,
she's
speak
coming
on it.
across as very oof. I don't know about that.
Does it sound presumptuous to anybody, or does it sound weird?
I think it does. Yeah.
It's not weird to me, honestly.
Yeah, it's not. I believe that when you are raised a certain way and you have a certain standard of living, that's why that's where classism comes into play. I hate to put it out there, start it like that, but there is a such thing as classism, and some classes just clashes if you're not in the same league. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like being from the projects trying to date Richie Rich, you know, from the cartoon. It's possible if you money doesn't matter, but money does matter. You know, people try to say it doesn't. It does. I mean, you can love me till the cows come home, but when the lights are turned off, that love ain't doing nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? When the bills can't be paid and I can't eat and you know, I gotta go, they're not being paid. I'm not the type that really engage a person's only for their pocket. I do prefer someone with a heart and the personality and the nice and the kindness and those things. But money does help the relationship a little bit better because that's one less thing to stress about. It makes life easier. So those people that lie and say, you know, money don't change things, it doesn't cause happiness. It can make things happy because you have abundance to do the things that you want and need to do in life.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dolly, you was gonna say something?
yeah, my thing is like for the past maybe 20 years, I'm pretty sure she's been used to a certain lifestyle that she can provide for herself. So if I'm as a woman, I'm already a celebrity. Like I'm already probably eating $200-300 meals on a daily basis. Like, why would I deal with somebody who can't at least do what I could do for myself? So in the state of a person like Lisa Ray, I don't mind it coming from her because that's the lifestyle that she's created for herself. So it would be hard for her to go with a construction worker where it's like, well, I like to eat Nobu. I like to eat Chris on a Tuesday, and you can't afford to do that. So we're not evenly yoked. It's just not even gonna make sense. Like she said, I like going on month-long vacations. If you don't even have a month of PTO stacked up, you can't keep up with me. Like that's the same as like friendships and things like that. Like I'm pretty sure she got female friends that she can't hang with because they can't afford to do what she enjoys to do. So honestly, when it comes to a person like Lisa Ray saying that, it sounds pretty regular to me because you want to be with somebody who you can relate to, and finances is something that you want to be relatable on with the person that you date.
Okay. So because of where she's at in life, it doesn't sound strange.
Yeah, nah, not from her. Now, if you work at Wendy's, you know, you work at like a supermarket or something, and you looking for a millionaire, then it sounds crazy.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, how does a person get to the point where they say I'm only going to, like, for instance, there was this whole thing with Ebony K. Williams, who used to be a guest host on the Breakfast Club, and she had a show with Joe Budden and all of that. State of the Union, I think it was called something like that. She said she would not date a bus driver; he would have to own a bus company. And everybody was like, "Oh Lord, like man, you just putting some unrealistic standards." Is this that same type thing where a woman has reached a certain level and she may feel like I don't need to do that anymore, or I'm not interested in that, or do you think they were already kind of like groomed and raised to think in that manner?
I think it's probably the first one. You know, because if you've created a certain lifestyle for yourself, like you don't want to deal with somebody who you're gonna have to financially take care of, especially if you're the woman. Like men, we don't care. If she fine, we get along well, you know, she compliments me. We got a nice little vibe. A man don't mind taking care of a woman. If I meet a good woman and I'm rich and she, you know, like she might be a school teacher or something, but we get along real good, I don't mind. You know, come on, I'll take care of you. Like, quit your job. You ain't got to teach no more. You can do whatever you want to do. But as a woman, taking care of a man, it just looks crazy. Because
Yeah.
even like when you look at the dynamic of like Oprah and Stedman is a successful lawyer. Like a lot of people looked at Stedman like he was somehow broke. It's like, no, I
Mm-hmm.
Right,
think Stedman was pretty rich when he met Oprah. That's how he met Oprah. But when
right.
you compare their monies, it looks crazy because she's a billionaire and he's probably a low millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
but she got there. You know, like she wasn't a millionaire at first. She was just a TV personality, and everyday people, just because they see somebody on TV, automatically think they got. They don't always have sales rep who sold the show. They got the money first. You know, you just a host on the show, and then eventually she got smart and learned the business. That, you know what I'm saying, and then that she just took over the market at that point. And Stedman might have been one of those lawyers that negotiated one of those deals. You never know.
Yeah, he might have been.
Exactly.
Yeah, he might have been.
I mean,
What is? Go ahead, Michelle.
yeah. No, I just what I don't mind when women have standards. I don't mind. I mean, good for you, girl. Like you worked your ass off for that. What bothers me is the lack of like not being humble at all. Like, don't forget where you probably come from. For you to get to this point where your shit don't stink, girl. No, come on. Like, I get it. And it worries me because the things that I see the most, especially in like people that are, out in society, the um, socialites and all these people out there, all the influencers, it's like they end up being miserable and alone. It's like, girl, well, you gotta tone it down with what you're actually asking for, because are you sure that you want somebody like that? And if you find it and he's, successful and faithful and a good man, I think that's what should matter. But most of the time, these girls with the high expectations and the very, very high standards end up being alone because, they're not gonna find what they're actually needing in their life. So
Yeah.
that's kind of sad. That's what kind of gets me.
Yeah.
What is hypergamy? Can somebody tell me what hypergamy is?
Dating up. When you're looking for somebody who either has a high level of means or a high level of I guess you would call it like romantic equity, meaning
Right.
somebody that's very beautiful, somebody who has a whole lot of access to the opposite sex or same sex if that's
Options.
what you're into.
They got options.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about from the
I like that
ladies?
word. Favorite word, options.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite words. Option and leverage.
Yeah.
So what is you guys' understanding of hypergamy, or have you ever heard of it before? Is it kind of new, or have you heard of it from ladies?
I'm gonna be honest, it's new to me. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a
it's
word
new.
I use every day.
But it makes sense. I mean, it's like if you're marrying up, if you're looking for something better in a way, is that what it is describing it in terms of relationships.
Yeah. There, about 2 years ago, there was a big influx of hypergamy related content. People were just constantly saying, "Hey, girl, you don't need to marry this man that's not making that much, or you should go for a man that's balling. You should go for a man of means. You should go for a wealthy man." That's what they were saying. It was it was like in every black podcast I was watching. It was everywhere, and it was almost like taking a dump on the men that have regular jobs, right?
Hmm.
It's almost like making 70,000 ain't good enough. Making 50,000 ain't good enough. You need to look, 100,000 ain't good enough. The way they were sounding, it was like, you need to be balling, not just stable or not even just doing well. You need to be exceptionally balling. So whatever that number is, and that's a good question for the team, ladies. What's balling? Like what? How much does I don't want to even put on a number, but what is balling? If someone says this man is wealthy, he's balling. What does that look like from a financial standpoint and from a things standpoint or an access standpoint? It's for the ladies. Let's go with Yvette.
Um, put me on the spot. For me, I don't use. See, my thing is I don't use those terminology. I don't count people's pockets. I'm not one of those people that count a person's pocket. I count um I count your character. I your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. I look at your hustle. I those are the things that turn me on. I look at your mindset. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? So I've never been one of those women that go chasing a baller because he can have all the money in the world, but the shittiest attitude, that ain't gonna turn me on. I don't need you to talk to me like I'm a piece of crap and I'm just your piece of meat. You know, just bring that ass. That's not something that will turn me on. You know what I'm saying? But now you're a gentleman. You have money, but I still don't know what you make. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So if you have these things, that's nice. And a man would. I would prefer a man who will share that with me, opposed to me looking for it and trying to connect from him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're good to that man and you treat him well, he's gonna want to share his world with you anyway. So,
right. So you're not really looking for a man with money, but if he wants to share it and he has it, you're okay with it.
Well, because you would want your man to be able to support you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you would want that. So that's what you should be looking for. Again, I'm at a certain age and a certain standard, and but I already have my own house and I have my own car. So at a certain point, what else could you add? You know, to my life, what else could you add? So yes, with more, do I need a bigger house, a bigger car? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do I need these things? So now it's like you're looking for hard the someone to sit and have conversations with, and dinners and lunch with, and just share your world with. You know, that's what you should be looking for now. Share with.
Shout out to everyone that's watching on Instagram. I see them. I see PR Haiti. I see a few people watching. Angela Diva, what's going on, y'all? All right, so that was a great detail of how you feel, Yvette, and what you're looking for, but you didn't answer the question. What is wealthy, Michelle?
Oh,
I mean, wealthy or baller? Yeah.
You said baller.
Are you changing the words now?
I'm interchanging wealthy and baller, but what is balling? What is being wealthy, if that's what you want to call it, Michelle? Well, I'll come back to you, Yvette.
I mean, I can give you both my perspectives on each and one of them, because for me, baller is more like it has a definition of personally like a player, and I don't like that. Like it always gonna give me that like, oh, he's a baller. Like especially me being in the bar industry, like you see a guy coming in with a Ferrari and then the like slow motion moving with the, so suave and all this, and I'm just like, we dread those kind of people because they're usually players and looking for the like the supermodel girl next to the bar. It's just it's a stereotype. I think to me it's a stereotype, and I don't like it because it's just, I don't know, I just don't like that kind of stuff. But if we're going to talk about wealthy in terms of money, I mean, I can picture Elon Musk. I don't know if he's a baller because I don't know the guy, but obviously he has a lot of money.
What is the entry level into wealthy? How much does a man have to, or a woman have to be considered wealthy?
I don't think that, I mean, do you really want a number particularly? Okay. Shit. I want to say like over 100,000, as long as you can pay the bills. That's to me is starting a good wealth amount. I mean, you can go all the way to the billions if you want, but I'm not complaining about. I'm not being nice.
Maybe 100,000.
I don't
You in El
ask for
Paso,
much.
right?
I'm in Phoenix, Tempe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was in El Paso.
Y'all being nice. Y'all being nice.
Because I'm like,
no.
Wealthy is at least $1 million.
No, actually, no. Wealthy $1 million, because a lot of people have $1 million now. So we're
and they're assholes.
And once you no, and they're not. See, a lot that's not good either to say that everybody with money.
No, I'm not saying no, not all of them. A lot of them.
Some can be, but my thing is, if you were an asshole before you got money, you're gonna be an asshole with money. That's my
with
theory.
Money.
That's all about your character and who you are.
Yeah, money just accelerates who you are.
Well, see, there's a difference in comfortable and wealth. Wealthy,
that's what I was getting at.
Right. Okay. So wealthy is your money is making money. You are in the bed, sleep, and your money is making money for you. You are now living off of your dividends. really have to get up and go to work. You choose to do whatever you want to, but your money is making money on top of it. Like, okay, so I can make $1 million. No, I'll take that back. If I had $1 million in the bank and I had the right stock options, my dividends can make me $100,000 a year on that $1 million if I'm doing the right thing. That's wealthy. Okay, now figures is I still got to get up. I'm comfortable. We're comfortable, but we still got to do a little something to keep that standard of living. We still got some stocks. We might have a little bit of investments here and there, you know, some property somewhere, but you still got to do a little something.
So a man that makes a man that makes 100,000, would you say he's financially stable?
100,000 is depending on what state you live in. That can be comfortable.
Right, that's a fact.
That's
exactly. Because in California, I'm just stable.
Right.
It depends on what state you live in. You know.
All right. So can we?
100,000 ain't nothing when you reach it.
Facts. So can we say that in most of the 50 states, 200,000 is stable?
Yeah.
250,000.
Yeah.
That's stable. All right. Now, how much for a family of 2 or a family of 4? Like, let's say, is that 200,000 good for one individual, or is that good enough for 2 people?
If you got common sense, 200,000 should be more than enough for a family of 4.
All right, he got common sense.
Common sense, yes.
If you a logical person and you not trying to drive a Lamborghini, or you know, like you don't want to go get a boat or nothing crazy like that, $200,000 you should be living comfortable in any part of the United States.
Okay, I can agree with that. I do know that inflation is high now, so 200 now ain't what it used to be in the 90s. I know that much.
Nah, not at all. In the 90s, 200,000 would have had you in a mansion.
You was probably balling.
Yeah, you can live in something really nice in Atlanta. Atlanta, you can go and get you one of those. You know, your house got the theater in the basement. You balling.
Yeah,
but
Atlanta is more expensive now than it used to be.
Atlanta's like LA now. Yeah, I was looking at Atlanta. It looked like LA now.
Florida, we done got off the hook down here now. It's off the chain.
So Michelle, can we agree? Can we agree that 200,000 is stable?
I can agree with that. I mean, you also have to remember where I come from. It's funny how, like, from Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have to take into consideration because growing up, everybody thought that I was rich.
What part of Mexico are you from?
I'm from Ciudad Juarez, from Chihuahua, the north border.
And you came to this. And you came to the States when you were young. My bad, Dolly. You came to the States when you were young.
I started going to Chicago since I was 5, back and forth.
Okay, my bad, Dolly. Go ahead, bro.
You know, but I still grew up like in Mexico. Yeah,
because you said so. Chihuahua is near Juarez.
Juarez is in Chihuahua. Chihuahua is a state, and that's the one that borders south of Texas.
So you from Juarez?
Yes.
Juarez is crazy. Because I spent some time in El Paso.
Yep.
And everybody in El Paso, when I got to El Paso, told me, if somebody offers to take you to Juarez, don't go with them.
Well, unless it's me, I could have shown you a really cool time, because I'm not going to go to shady places where you could get shot.
Well, it's like they told me if a stranger approaches you and says, yeah, man, you want to go to Juarez? We're going to have a good time. They say, do not do it. If you don't know the person, don't go to Juarez.
I would agree with that.
Because Juarez is very dangerous.
It was very dangerous. Yes,
I didn't know you was from the hood. Very, very Michelle.
Dangerous.
Now, listen, I didn't know you was from the hood, Michelle. That's the hood.
Yeah.
I mean, you can call it the hood. I mean, it was really bad. It got really, really bad, and it was sad for all this time that, like, with the whole, like, the cartels taking over and all that, it got bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you come from a rough area, and you survive, hey, you never forget about your roots. You always remember, hey, I remember where I came from, because you probably got family members that still right down in the same area. You know what I'm
I got
saying?
friends. Yeah, I know people.
Yeah.
I mean, I go there whenever I can. I enjoy it. I
Well,
miss it
you know,
sometimes, but it's rough. Like the perspective when I was growing up and going to Chicago since I was 5 years old, back and forth because my dad lived there, and I would come back with all these cool things that he would buy for me. Everybody thought that I was rich because I was going to a very humble junior high school and high school. So that's why my perspective of like wealthy and rich are very different. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Typically, yeah, I agree. When your family has more blessings and benefits than others in your family, right?
Hmm.
They typically think you're rich because they're like,
Hmm.
hey, I'm still down here in Juarez. We're struggling. In my case, hey man, we still back in the south side of Chicago struggling. And you guys are living big in Atlanta. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, we kind of hand to mouth, but the cost of living is cheaper. At least it was back then. So our lifestyle was a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you run into that. A lot of times people think that you're rich, but the truth is, a lot of us feel like we're barely making it. A lot of us, even those of us that can get to the 70, 80, 90, 100,000, maybe even 200,000, we might feel like we're hand to mouth because, like you said, Donny, we might not be doing what we used to do and being smart with our money and frugal with our money. Because when you're forced to be frugal, you ain't no damn question. But when you got the option to go to Applebee's, go to Olive Garden, or go to Ruth Chris, or whatever level you at, and you go on a regular basis, you start forgetting what it feel like to tighten the belt, to be frugal and say, man, I need to work on this and save for this, because you're like, oh, I'll make it again. But you're just trading time for money. You're not really wealthy. You're really hand to mouth. You just well paid hand to mouth. But you're really a paycheck away from being homeless, maybe two, if you save your money.
Yeah, you
What
forget
y'all
what
think
them
about
noodles
that?
taste like.
Facts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stop eating that top ramen. Because I remember like when I first started driving truck, somebody was telling me about like, don't live up to your financial means, because they was like, it's real easy to fall into that trap. Like when you look at the end of the month, you got money left over, you like, oh man, you know what? I can get a nicer car. Oh, I can start dressing a little nicer. You know what? I can start getting some of these designer things instead of just wearing the regular shoes. And then you look up and it's like, how am I broke again? Like I make,
Hmm.
3 times more money and I'm broke again. Like, how am I broke?
Hmm.
And he was like, it's easy to fall into the trap. So he was like, man, if your old shoes is comfortable, keep buying them old shoes. Don't worry
Yep.
about trying to live up to your means, because you'll end up messed up. And that's what a lot of people do.
You know what?
Trying to live like
Get
the
out of here,
Joneses,
Blue.
and I'm like, who are these Joneses that everybody keep trying to? I've never met these Joneses trying to live up to. I'm
I
always
met
telling
him.
my friends, stop trying to buy Uchi Coochie and Coochie, because none of those people care about you.
I met the
Hmm.
Joneses, and the Joneses is broke too. The Joneses got bad credit.
Um, my, my cat was scratching my feet. I'm like, what's wrong with this kitty cat? Um,
My
anyway,
stomach.
I want to play something for y'all because I think we're on to something here. I think we're on to the fact of how someone could say, I'm not going to date below my means. I'm not going to go after someone that doesn't, that can't go on a month-long vacation. Now, I think a month-long vacation is a bit much, right? Like, I'm like, man, you could do it, but I'm like, I can't afford to miss 4 weeks of work, and I don't want to burn all my vacation all my PTO on one trip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's kind of a lot. But I mean, that's where Lisa Ray is. She's able to do that. But
Yeah.
maybe, maybe you work your way up into that space of, now that I'm a female and I'm making 500,000 a year, 1 million a year, I really am not even going to entertain somebody making 100,000, because I'm at the 500,000 or $1 million lifestyle where I go. I don't have to ask nobody. I ain't got to wait on nobody. I pay my bills. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been in the industry, whatever level she's at, just using her as an example. Maybe it does make sense to say, I don't want to go back down to the guy at Burger King, or even the guy at Hewlett Packard, because Hewlett Packard, yeah, your 100,000 is great for you, but I make 5 to 10 times that or even more, on great years. So let me play this clip. Now I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna admit it's probably gonna sound some type of way because I was a little bit like, yo, what is she trying to say? But I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna be unbiased. I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna get you guys' reaction. Check this out. I think she was on a podcast. It says Clio TV. So she was on a podcast and she was sharing her opinion. So this is the host, and the host asked Lisa Ray a bunch of questions. So check this out.
This is a real conversation because it's nice to be with a powerful man.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't make you a gold digger.
Mm-mm.
Why waste your time dating somebody who is not going to elevate your life? And
Not even just that. But here's the thing. I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacation and go on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. I'm not trying to be with anyone that I have to be a teacher.
The long pause was diabolical. The long pause.
I don't see anything wrong with saying.
Me neither.
I don't.
I
really
don't like her.
Yeah, I was gonna
her
say,
right
like,
now.
she's a very polarizing person. A lot of people don't like Lisa Ray because, she just put it on the table. But at the same time, like, I agree with her. Because if that is like your day to day, it would be inconsiderate. Like, imagine if you like, well, I like this kind of food. Like, I'm not finna start going to Burger King because that's who I'm dating, and I don't even eat like that. Like, going too far below your means, you're gonna eventually resent the person that you're dating, especially if it ends up not working. Like, imagine you and this dude, y'all don't work out, and you like, I done downgraded everything in my life to hang out with you. And now, what are we doing now? Especially like going on a month vacation. Like, for us, regular people, that's unfathomable.
Right.
But like, if you were to ask, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos about a month vacation, they probably like, a month, that's it?
Right.
Like, I probably work 4 days a year.
Well, they probably can take their work with them. Yvette.
Exactly.
They probably the type where I could do a month because I'm still gonna be getting shit done, on a regular.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're like, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, like these type of people where, these dudes' vacations be like to places where there's only 4 people on the whole island and they all employees of the island. So it's like, you can't afford that. Why are you coming with me? Like, if you're dating Lisa Ray and you're a construction worker, she's probably literally 100% of your financial life once y'all start dating. Like, if you want to go on vacation with Lisa Ray, you're gonna have to quit your job because, like,
or you'll lose your job.
Yeah, like, I feel like I got a great job. Like, I get a month of PTO whenever my anniversary comes. They give me 4 weeks of PTO. That's my whole balance. If she want to go on vacation, I'm gonna lose my job. Like,
right.
I couldn't date Lisa Ray. Like, sorry, baby, but this is all I got. So unless you plan on retiring me, we can't even date.
Well, let's continue because she continues. Let's see what else she says. And then I'm gonna flip the script because men do this all the time. Men date below their means all the time, but we're gonna get to that.
Sure.
Because we don't care.
Life is spanking us right now. Life is our teacher. Can I live in a house where I'm always teaching you as well? That's too much. That's too heavy. I don't want that. I'm gonna teach you some things, on an everyday basis, but not where, the life lessons you were supposed to have.
Now she's kind of talking about dating someone that she's got to teach them things. She's got to show them things. She don't want to have to teach a man and instruct a man and help a man, I guess, grow up and become a man. She's like, no, I need you to come, equipped and ready. She don't want to have to teach a man. But let's continue because it's about a 2-minute clip.
And stored up on me because I'm damn sure gonna give them to you. I'm world traveled. I'm world cultured. I'm talented. I'm successful. I'm domesticated. I'm family. You get all these things. Don't you know that I have a list as well? You need to have your list. Do I check the boxes that you need in a woman?
We can stop right there real quick though, because now we're getting into preferences and a list, right? The more I'm listening to this, I'm like, okay, she's not wrong for having preferences because people have preferences. My question is this: why do we as men, Uncle Dolomite, why will we say, well, she can work at McDonald's, she can, work at Hewlett Packard, she can have a 9 to 5, she could be a teacher, and I might be making that 500,000. I just might be balling, and I will date and marry someone like that. Why do men say that? I don't want to give the answer. I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Because as a man, it's our job to provide financially. Like as a man, as a woman don't want to take over what's considered to be a man's job. Same as like she said about teaching. Like something that I always talk about on my show. Like as a man, you supposed to be doing the best that you can to chase knowledge, because I genuinely feel like the cheat code to getting a woman is teaching her something. Like a man that could teach a woman something, a man that a woman sees as being intelligent is a man that a woman would follow. A woman ain't gonna follow or submit to no man that she sees as a dummy. So you as a man, you should be well read. Like you should be the type of man that a woman sees as, having some level of intelligence, as well as having some level of means. A man of means is also looked at as a man of intelligence, because a woman who sees a man making money, she don't see a dumb man if a man could find a way to make money. So, a lot of the reason that women don't mind going for a man that has means is because she sees that he is a leader. He is a man that, has some level of intelligence. If you don't have those two things, a woman looks at you like, I'm not dealing with a broke dude that ain't got no level of intelligence. I don't care how big your dick is or what type of flowers you like to buy. I don't want to have to lead you. You like my child. So, I honestly feel like it's really nothing wrong with what she's saying. A lot of people just don't like the messenger because she's not that likable as a person.
Yeah. Ladies?
I mean, I don't know her. This is the first time I've ever seen or heard her, but to me, I want to put a mirror in front of her and want her to just marry yourself, girl. Because seriously, like it's the demands. It's the whole like what gets me. It's like tone it down, girl. Like I get it, but she's just like making like her choices are tiny, tiny, tiny. Like the 1% is this small, and now she's like discarding. And at the same time, like okay, the checking the boxes, but it
Yeah,
makes
she
me
definitely
cringe a little bit.
numerically disqualified.
It's like she better have a tight ass snatch or something because come on, with that list.
Dang, where's my
Oh
button when I
my
need
God.
it? Not snatch, Michelle.
Tight. Yeesh.
Yeah, but that's also something I tell women a lot. Like if you're looking for a certain level of money as well as a certain level of intelligence, and like, a lot of women is like, I don't want to date nobody under 6 feet tall. I'm
Yeah,
like,
well, you better be 6
it's like,
feet tall too, honey.
yeah, it's like 4% of dudes are 6 feet tall and over. Like
Yeah.
you really numerically cutting out the dating pool. Like you fishing for like, a red catfish in the ocean. When you're trying to
Well,
find like, oh, I want a 6-foot guy that's in church, but he's also a gangster and he got a beard, but he also got a clean face. And it's like,
right.
you're
Right.
looking for a unicorn.
Yvette,
Yeah.
is her, did Lisa Ray sound demanding? Like, because I understand what Michelle is saying. It's one thing to say I have a preference. It's another thing to be kind of like a jerk about it, right? Did she sound demanding, or was she just clear?
It's she's clear and direct, but it's again, it's just her tone and how she's saying it. Because I too kind of agree with what she's saying. Is like, and then when you get to a certain age, I always, well, not even gonna say age, a level, because look at Rihanna. Rihanna is wealthy beyond at such a young age. That knocks her out of a dating pool. Like, who do she date? So she has to have somebody who is almost near her level of finances. See, people don't realize that it's hard to date someone who don't have the same, how am I trying to say this?
It's like if you're Oprah, it's going to be hard for Oprah to find somebody on her level, is what you're saying.
On her level, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like in your same playing field, because you're on two different fields. There's two games going here, but you're not on the same field. And that's where things get.
I think that it's also how she's putting it, Yvette. Like, she's being more materialistic first, than putting the important stuff that like should be first, not just the money and the materialist and all that stuff. That's why I'm like cringing as well.
But I know her, or not know her, but back in the day, when I did the All-Star thing, Alonzo Mourning's wife was doing her fashion line. I recorded, I actually have that here somewhere. She was speaking at the event, talking about she's not just smart, she ain't pretty, she doing things. That's how she talks. She talks like that even back then. And that was back in the early 90s, late 90s. So that's a long time ago. So that's just who she is. And then, when you're also, exactly. So with her, it's almost like, I'm not conceited. I'm convinced. Like, people have told her this is who she is. So that's who she is. That's her personality now. So, and then she's been in the game for such a long time. She's made a lot of money. There used to be a dating show where you go on, even on that dating show, and everybody had to be of a certain income to be on the show. And at the end of it, believe it or not, she walked away. I don't think she walked away with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So she does knock a lot of people out of the box, but but I think she can be a little bit more humble with it. But that's just who she is. That's the way she is all the time.
I was going to say, not judging, not trying to judge her, but since we're using her life as an example for the conversation, so she did marry a wealthy man, right?
A prince.
Prince.
She did.
And I think she's been married more than once. I think she was married prior to the prince. You're right. She was married to the prince. She's no longer married to that prince, right?
No, I don't think so.
So my question is, okay, so you go find the baller. You go find, you marry up. Hypergamy, great. You get with Elon Musk. You get with Jeff Bezos. But you can't keep them.
But I think with her, it's a hard example to use her because she's not a regular person. Right. Like with her, it's not hypergamy. Like with her, it's like she makes money in Hollywood, but she ain't no prince of no country, no princess. So what I'm saying is, you're right. She ain't a normal person in terms of making what we make. But when she did marry up, she did marry up. Like, so I'm just saying. So you accomplish the golden goose. You marry the cash cow. Okay, great. But can you stay with and keep that cash cow? Because what I don't hear, and this, I'm getting to Michelle's point, what I don't hear, at least 2 years ago on the internet, when so many women were screaming, I need a man of means. I need a high value man. I need a man that's making money. I need a wealthy man. Y'all niggas broke. Okay. I'm like, okay, you want all of that, but can you actually keep that man once you get him?
Well, okay. Again, I'm with Uncle Dolomite. Using her is not a good example. Now, if you talk about, because you're right, I got very frustrated because I raised 2 boys. I always take this back to me because I'm going by experience, but also what I see. And I even say the same thing to the men. You want this dream and this fantasy, but ready for it. Are you? Do you know what to do when you get there? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see that woman of dreams, you got yourself together. Are you going to be able to handle that woman of your dreams, provide for that woman of your dreams? Do you know the things that will make her tick and so forth, so on? Are you going to take the time to really get to know this person? Because I always say people go to bed without even talking to a person to understand if that's who they want. That's number one. You got to vet them to make sure you guys are on the same trajectory in life Because if you're going one way and one going the other direction, you're just playing tug of war with each other's personality. The sex may, but we don't meet any other level. And then what? That goes away at some point. Yeah. If I'm a spender and you're a saver, that's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, a person, and even for the women who say this, I don't think a woman at all, and I might get in trouble for this, but I don't think a woman should. I mean, everybody should want security. I mean, that's what women look for. And the men are supposed to be able to provide that security. But I think you should ask more of a guy you can do for yourself. If that makes sense. Because a lot of women, all these women that was on these things, talking all this junk, you can't even take yourself out to buy these things. You can't even buy these bags that you're asking these men to buy, that you can't even afford to put that kind of money in the bag that you're asking for. Like, why? Just to look good for just to make everybody make you believe that you got money. I believe in having real money. So if I'm going to carry a designer bag, you best believe my dividends bought that designer bag. I did not go and work a whole month to lay down the money to buy a bag that I can't even afford to put the money back in. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
And I feel like that was the value of Kevin Samuels. Like, a lot of people didn't like Kevin Samuels, but what I liked about Kevin Samuels was he was bringing the understanding that if there's something that you want, you have to qualify for what you want.
Right.
Like, it's easy to say that you want a guy that has a certain level of means, but does that guy want you?
Right.
You know, and vice versa. You know, same with like Lisa Ray can ask for everything that she wants to ask for. She's entitled to wanting something, but does she qualify for that? You know, like your point of just because you want these guys and you can even possibly get them, do they want you? Because the thing about Lisa Ray is that beauty is fading. It's fading fast. You know, when she got with that prince, she was one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Like, everybody back in the 90s, Lisa Ray was like the bar for what we thought a beautiful woman was. So she can get whoever she wants. She can talk as crazy as she wants. She can be as cocky as she wants. Because when a woman is very beautiful, men have the tendency to look past a whole lot of their flaws. You know, when we see something we like, we'll ignore all of that. But the less that we see, though, that rose colored glasses take off, it's like, girl, your mouth is crazy. That the way you be talking, I ain't gonna be able to handle that. You know, as well as how she says she's domesticated. I don't even know what she means by that, because that mouth, that's not no domesticated mouth. You know, so the thing is, you know, like with Kevin Samuels, I think he said like fit, friendly, and I forgot what
feminine.
the other
Fit, feminine, friendly. Yep.
Exactly. So it's like, if you don't carry those qualities, a lot of men of means ain't gonna want to deal with you.
And you know what the issue is too? You know, if you are you know, look, everyone grows older. We all do. But it's a known fact that men can get away with it a little bit better, because women see men getting gray and say, "Oh, that's distinguished. That's sexy. That's salt and pepper." Right? And men may not always feel the same way. Men may start looking at the younger woman when his woman starts to gray or whatever. And that's just, I'm just saying, in human nature, men tend to want
You
to
look good
go.
with that hair, Yvette.
Yeah, we're not talking about Yvette, because Yvette is auntie.
Yvette carrying that gray hair, that look good on her.
Yvette rocking it. We're not talking about auntie. But and look, Yvette is not my auntie. Yvette my sister, because we right there in the same ballpark. but you know what I'm saying is, unfortunately, you know, men tend to look at older or same age and say, "Oh, if I had to, I would probably pick a younger model if I could." I hate to say that, but men tend to do that. And women say, no, no, no. Men age like wine. Hey, he's older. As long as if he's financially stable, as long as if he ain't crazy, and he's, you know, he's not violent, nothing goofy like that. He can be older, just be stable, successful, boom, boom, boom. They don't really trip like we do. So, you know, when I think of women like Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, especially Lisa Ray, right? I'm using Vivica as the example of when she was younger, she found somebody in 50 Cent, and the industry was so crazy, she wasn't ready to commit, or she couldn't be what he needed her to be. And then now she says that's the love of her life that she missed out on. That's an industry thing. That ain't really a money thing.
A lot of it is, again, is when you're the most beautiful woman on the mantle, it's like, yeah, I can act how I want to act. I can act a goddamn fool because I got a million options. Everybody want me. But then when that beauty start to fade, it's just like when a man, like when a man is financially up here, he got his chest out. But when them finances start to fall, a lot of times, that humility start to creep in. Like, it's when people have a lot of options, they don't know how to act. Until you start to reach those levels when it's like, okay, let me act like I got some sense, because I don't have access to everybody that I want to have access to. So I need to lower my voice. And Lisa Ray is starting to hit that wall. Same with Vivica Fox. Vivica Fox hit that wall. When she was dating 50 Cent, she was still in all the movies. She was highly sought after. But now that that's no longer the case, it's like, now look at him and look at me.
And then the other thing too, your physical looks are gonna fade, right? And because men put so much value on physical looks, a woman has to have more than just that, right? Like, and I'm not talking about when you're married and you made a commitment. I'm talking about when you're like at Lisa Ray's age and you're single and you're looking. You know what I'm saying? Or at my age, you're single and you're looking. You have to be something that the opposite sex not only desires but can stomach, right? So okay, so a woman's desirable or a man's desirable, great. The man got money, great, he got money, but he's a spouse abuser, he domestic violence, drug addict, constant gambler, so his money is always up and down and funny. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, okay, you got the means, but do you have the means to keep a woman once you get that woman? Because you're unstable, sir. Same thing with a lady. Okay, you got the beauty, you got the booty, but your attitude is horrible. You don't support nobody. You're not feminine. You're walking around like a dude, pretty much. A dude with a fat ass and a pretty face. You know what I'm saying?
A BBL and a CDL.
Right.
And
it's
BBC.
like, right. Oh Lord Jesus. Pause. But it's like, ladies, it's okay. So we're going back to the hypergamy discussion.
But like, that's why, just quick, I didn't like the term high value man that Kevin Samuels coined, because with me, that's just a high price man. Your finances just make you high price. Value is integrity, morals, character, like how you carry yourself, like being honest. To me, that's what makes you valuable in a man and in a woman. If you don't have no integrity, you're not valuable. If you're not honest, you're not valuable. If you can't bring something to the table, meaning like your ability to cook, your ability to compliment your mate, the chemistry that you have with the opposite sex, you're not valuable at all. There's some millionaires who nobody want to deal with.
Yes.
I look at it like this as a man, right? Would I make my mom proud? You know what I'm saying? I have a mom, I have a grandmother, I have aunties, not to mention my father and my uncles, right? But just looking at the ladies in my life, if I'm walking around here cocky, I'm a high value man, I got money, I'm a man of means, you can't tell me nothing, right? And I'm negative towards women, right? I kick animals, I'm rude or slap babies, or what I'm saying, just despicable, right? I'm just a jerk, an asshole all the way around. But I got money, but I can pay them bills. You know what I mean? And I can lead a regiment and we can get shit done, but I'm an absolute jerk, especially to the women in my life. I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I've always been like, yo, man, I can't be running around here just because I have some small level of success, that maybe others in my family haven't obtained. I can't be running around here, with my head up my behind. being rude to women. So the whole thing with being high value, going back to what you were saying, Deloitte, a lot of people took Kevin's message and they ran with the aspect of, I'm not going to say that Kevin was misogynistic. I'm not going to say that, but I'll say that there was a lot of people that took that message and made it misogynistic, and they just ran and they just were hard on women all the way up
Yes,
just
they
because
were.
they could. And I was like, yo, that's not cool, man, because unless you like men, the goal is to find a woman. So you don't
Thank
want
you.
to piss off every woman on the planet just because your mama didn't give you hugs when you was a kid, or or the woman at high school didn't like you because you was too dark, or whatever the case was. Go ahead, Yvette.
And I just wanted to bring a point because I watched a few of his shows too, and people were not chiming in on the part of, because he always was so much badgering on what the woman needed to bring. He never really talked more about the man. And you spoke on it a little bit earlier, Uncle Dolomite, which is, if you are a woman that you feel like you have all this character and you have yourself together, like you said, how do you follow a man who don't have himself together and have the mindset? You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's always going to be things to be taught and learn from each other because you don't know each other. But you need to, because that word submit, I'm getting ready to use the word submit. That was also thrown around a lot. Oh, you need to submit. You need to submit, and I used to hate it because I off the the Instagram stuff because it was stupid. You're supposed to submit to each other, but most of all, a woman can't submit to a man that don't know how to manage his money, don't know how to speak to you, don't know how to come up with a game plan, don't know how to make a plan, don't have a map for where he wants to go. To bring girl, but only place you know how to take me is your bedroom. Where else can you take me? Where are we going? What's the plan for life? I want a person that we can play life with, not somebody that's just gonna, you know what I'm saying? And that's what men
Yeah.
need to understand about a woman. Women are going to school and educating themselves in numbering in high numbers, where the men are not. So that's why there's this financial gap, this educational knowledge gap there that we're having with men and women, because women are educating themselves, are paying jobs, and the men. So then when the men meet a woman that may have a little bit of education, a little knowledge, a goal, a dream, she wants a house, she wants these things, she's going to get it by any means necessary, with or without you, but it would be better if I can do it with you. But they're not having that conversation. It's almost like we're supposed to hate women and the men supposed to hate the women and women supposed to hate the men. How do we get together if this is the conversation that you're having?
Yeah.
If
Yep,
you
I agree
doing
with
40
that.
and I'm doing 40, let's put that together and plan something. Let's map it out. Okay, this year I'm going to go to school. I'll hold the house down. Okay, this year we're going to work towards this business, but I'll hold the house down. They're not talking like that.
Mm. I
Yeah.
want to read a comment from Juan. Juan said, is it always wealth equals money, or could it be other means of value like health, humor, knowledge, values, etc.? And that's what you just said, Uncle Dolomite. You just said that.
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like that's what value is. Like wealth is definitely money, but value is what you bring to the table outside of money. Because yes, money is a part of it, but if you don't have morals, money don't matter. If you don't have
Yeah.
character standards, if you don't have principles, like she said, if you're not a good money manager, if you as a man, if you're not a good leader, if you don't have structure, you can't structure a household, you can't raise your kids, because like I tell people, like me personally, when it comes to dating, like I look at the type of mother that a woman is. I can't even date a woman with no kids because I'm a very active father. Like, me and my kids' mother, like we got like 50-50 custody. But when I have my kids, if you watch my story, Dave, like you see, like
Yeah.
I'm 100% in
Always.
my kids' life. Like I'm with my
Yep.
kids every single day, even though
Yep.
me and their mom not together. So if I'm
Yep.
dating a woman and she don't have no kids, I look at that just the same way as a car dealership look at a person with no credit. Like I can't trust the woman that you are around kids, so I can't deal with you because
Yeah.
some people resent kids. Some people they don't have kids because they don't want kids because they don't like kids. If
Right.
you don't
Right.
like kids, you can't
They
date
don't have
me
them. Yeah.
because I love my kids and they always gonna be around. So if I feel like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a rival with my kids, you gonna have to go because they ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's the thing when it comes to what you value in a relationship. Money is only a small part of it because all those other things are a lot more important. Yes, money is important, but that's the same as sex. Like sex is very important, just like money is very important. But if you don't have all those other things, sex and money ain't gonna do nothing.
It's not gonna keep you.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't gonna keep you. And I'll just say this from a value standpoint. Just even like when we did our first couple of lives, we was covering Kendrick Lamar and all that. We started chit chatting offline. Dolomite, I saw you with your kids. You know, I saw you having your daddy days. That made me say, okay, this is a person that I could like, you know, connect with and do some stuff with. Because you know, look, bad character corrupts good company. What? No, good, bad company corrupts good character. That's what it is. And like, if you hanging around people like if you know one of your homies is just a wife beater, it's hard to hang around that because it's like, yo, that's not my business. But dude, don't do that shit in front of me. Like, yo, I don't want to see that. You know, because now I got to make a decision because now I may have to either say something, and I know it's stupid to get involved because people have died getting involved. You know, but you don't want to see nobody do anything like that in front of you. But yeah, it's like you know, values are important because even in a you know, even in a working relationship, a friendship relationship, a partnership, nothing where it's like between a man and a woman. It could be a woman and a woman, a man and a man, brother, sister. You when you see somebody got good values, you go, all right, yeah, that's somebody I could rock with to, you know, to whatever extent.
Yeah.
How much time do we have? Because I know Dolomite, you had to go, and then Yvette, you said you had a little bit. So what? How much time can you give me, Dolomite?
I could probably do about 30 more minutes.
Yvette, you good?
No, I got like 10 more minutes.
Okay,
All
10
right.
minutes. All right.
I think I got
Michelle,
something to add. I'm available. Don't worry.
go
I got
go ahead.
something to say regarding this, and I think that is very important that, like, regarding this lady that we're talking about, I think it's really important that women have their independence, that they're strong women, they're independent, they have their job, they make their money. It just worries me a lot that, I mean, if she already married a prince and that didn't work out, girl, you just need to get a dog. Like
I think
seriously,
she
I
has
don't know
one of those.
what's next because I mean it just the level of standards because I'm independent, because I'm all this and that. And I see that in women more and more, not necessarily women with a lot of money, just
Yeah.
a
Right.
lot of women. Like these, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but most and a lot of feminists are in this position. I'm independent, I pay my bills, I don't need a man, or if I want a man, he's better be like right there, like we said, like you're gonna be 6 foot man, you better, get there too. So it just worries me that that's one thing that I see that I find is like, well, you're domesticated and all. Girl, are you sure you're gonna wake up one day and cook an egg to your husband, even if he's at the same level as you? Are you sure about that? Like, and
Right.
marriage is not easy, and you guys know that. If you've been married, you
Right.
know it's not easy, and maybe that's why it's also failing.
And Michelle,
It's not just the
God
money.
forbid he have an accident, he can't go to work, right? His back is injured.
Exactly,
God
exactly.
forbid he makes a bad investment, right? And his
Right.
net worth, like for instance, the CEO of the company, I'm not gonna say it, but the CEO of the company that your husband and I worked for, right?
Yep,
He lost a lot of money because one of his companies went under. He lost a third of his value. This is a billionaire.
exactly.
So
What's gonna
can you
happen if that
yeah.
happens?
What's gonna happen if the woman you're with is all about you better be at this level and you better stay there? You have a bad business deal, a bad investment, you use a third of your value. You're no longer a billionaire, right?
Is she
Or you're
gonna
no
dump it to the
longer a
curb?
100 millionaire. Yeah, it's like,
Mm.
come on.
I just had this
Mm-hmm.
conversation riding home today. I was talking to my nephew, and we were talking about. Actually, I was talking about my mom. It's like they don't make women like that anymore. That when they say "till death do part," they literally stand by their man, and because the women today is like, oh, this is my life too, and I didn't choose this kind. Like I was like for the better, not for the worse. I want the better. I don't want the worse. But what happens if this held it down for 5, 10 years, and all of a sudden, like you said, he had an accident or something medical happens to him. Now he has to depend on you to take care of everything. You know, it's like, are you gonna be there? A lot of times people are like, no, I'm out because he
Right.
can't do anything for me anymore, so they're out. Or can I have someone on the side and still be here? But see, this is where selection makes the difference. Selection makes the difference because if you had that smart partner, you would have already planned and prepared for the what ifs. You know, if you were so busy trying to keep up with the Joneses and spending all the money, he didn't have any money to put anything aside for the what if and the God forbid. See, people ain't thinking like that. You're so busy wanting to drive the big Mercedes, the Aston Martins, and whatever to look like you got money. Because see, what people don't realize, very wealthy people don't change their cars up all the time unless it's a lease and it's under business name. They don't cars and they're not trying to impress nobody. They will drive that same car unless it's for collections too. So they buy cars for collection. They don't buy a car to show the town.
Right.
You know, they don't do. They wear the same haircut, the same hairstyles. They go to the same bar. You know, like they don't do these different things. They're wealthy. They're not wearing, like I said, Gucci, Coochie, or Poochie. Like they ain't wearing all of them. They don't care.
But it's not just that. Just let me give you just one example that I think is the best example we can get right now. Remember Lady D? I mean, she was married to Charles. Charles is now the king, and look at what he traded for.
Yes.
Camilla and that, you know, that good looking, but there was something that he liked in that lady that made it say like, no, I'd rather have that than Lady D. That was like, oh my God, like the whole thing. That's also things that we need to consider. It's not all bad. Men look
but that's
for
too, Michelle, because that's an anarchy, and these women are breeded for them. Like, so it's not like they even get to date. It's almost like they don't get to have a say. She was kind of raised up and right for him.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference between.
I understand that, but he still went and looked for the other lady that wasn't.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like the movie Coming to America.
Right, exactly.
It's like Coming to America. Like, I'd rather date somebody who I love than somebody who y'all set up for me. But like, and the thing is, like, I think we say all this to say, like, money ain't the only thing that's valuable in a relationship. Like, it's cool, because it is important. Like, don't nobody want to have a whole bunch of love, but we live in a box and we got to ride the bus every day and we eat noodles. Like, don't nobody want to have to figure out what we gonna eat every day. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to deal with somebody who's rich, beating on you, talking to you all crazy, and they done brought 2 or 3 side babies into your relationship neither.
Right. Yvette, I know you got to run. I want to ask everybody just a real quick question, and just give me your whatever the number is. How much money equals financial success for one person? How much money, and this is all based on your personal opinion, what amount of annual money says I am financially successful, Yvette?
It's a good question. Before I answer, I just want to say one thing too. A smart person once told me, a no good has nothing to offer but sex. The best lovers have nothing to offer, but that's why they're at it. But that good provider may not be the best in bed, may not be the best lover because he's too busy making the money. So his attention span is not going to be where you think like you get these women who think attention needs to be on me. Look at me, I'm over here, I'm looking cute for you. But if he's the breadwinner and he's got a business, he's a CEO, his mind is on the other stuff that make the money to help you stay pretty. So he may not give you the attention that you want. He may not give you all the love, sex. He might only have for sex. Like, maybe get these 15 pumps and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So the best lovers, the ones that ain't got nothing, they got all the time to love you down, lick you down, flip you. Oh no, they got time to do all that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I would say comfortably in America today, but it's getting worse. I think it just depends on your lifestyle, but Anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000. $250,000 to
All right,
$500,000.
250 to 500 is financially
Yeah.
successful. Okay, Michelle.
I mean, yeah, I'm with Yvette the whole way. Lifestyle, I'm gonna set myself as a personal example. We're doing okay over 100K right now, and we're happy. Yes. Do we want more? Of course. Who doesn't?
Would you
But
say that you're
I would say
financially
that, I mean,
successful or just stable?
we're stable, and that
So
keeps
what
me
what
peace
would it
of
take
mind.
for y'all to be financially successful? What's the
I don't
number?
know, add another $50,000 and we can pay our credit card debt. And that's me being happy because I've had the
Okay.
business before. I've had, those experiences before, and I'm, basing it on that.
Got you. So
Yeah.
150, 200, 250, somewhere along those lines.
Yeah. And that's just me and Juan. We don't have kids. It's just there are two cats. So, I think we're good with that.
Uncle Dolomite, what number says a person is financially successful?
Well, financially successful, like I look at success based on realistic expectations. And like me personally, like, especially at the age that I'm at, it would have to be about $250,000. But at the same time, like I think it adjusts for the lifestyle that you live, because if I'm still paying on a house, like if I still have an
Mm,
overhead, if I'm still working a daily job, then that
mm,
number changes. Because like if my home is paid off, I could comfortably live on $100,000 a year. But being that I got a mortgage, me and my kid's mom split up, so I got another house that I'm paying on. Like I'm paying my rent and half her mortgage.
right.
So personally, like 250 would be cool for me. But like if we was to get her house paid off and I was to have my house paid off, realistically $100,000 would be more than enough. But again,
Right.
it goes into
Assuming
the
everything is
lifestyle that
paid
you
off and
live.
all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when you use the term success,
It's
now
very
you kind of make it
subjective.
different, because, some people might look at success as like, I want a boat. I want to travel. Some
Mm,
people like designer clothing. Some people have expensive hobbies. Like some people are golfers. Some
mhm.
people they literally like to go to different countries, and, they want to climb the Mount Everest or something. So 500,000 might not even be successful to them. They might look at somebody with $500,000 a year. It's like, oh man, you can't even buy a plane.
Right.
So if you
Okay.
want to talk to me personally, I'll do $250,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know where I'm going with this because I'm about to show y'all a graphic. For me, I would say, financially successful. Yeah, 350, you know, but again, I still got stuff to pay. So when I start adding stuff up, it might be more, but I'll say 350 per year, financially successful. Look
Exactly.
at this graphic right here, y'all. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Generation Z reportedly sees
Whoa.
587,000 as the minimum salary for financial success. All
I
right.
could see
So
that.
minimum, they need to make 587. Now look at the comments of the comment. This is on Puberty. It says Americans say that it takes an annual salary of 270,000 to feel financially successful, according to a survey by Empower. More than 3 times the median household of $80,000. Gen Z sets the highest bar, aiming for 587, while millennials target 180. That would be, I think, I think Gen X would be me. I think that's my generation, I think. And millennials, I think, are Y, and then Z is the other one. And then baby boomers would be my mom's generation. So they thinking 100,000. I'm thinking 200. Millennials, I don't know what they bumped their head on, but they ain't saying
It's a delusion.
180, right? Less
Yeah.
than that. But then the Gen Z just went damn near triple, and damn near 6 times what our parents. Most Americans, 60% of Americans, believe achieving financial success is harder for their generation, while millennials feel that they feel this the most, and baby boomers feel it the least. Economic uncertainty and income instability has been seen as major obstacles. It says for
Wow.
net worth, the average benchmark for success is 5.4 million. Gen Z leads with the target of 9.5 million. Millennials aim for 5.6 million. Gen X 5.3 million, and baby boomers 1 million. Younger generations are optimistic but set higher goals than their predecessors. Now that's interesting.
Yeah, but nowadays, like where I live at, the average house is probably costing 400,000. So I could see why they would say something like that, because like when I bought my house in 2019, we got the house for 325. That same house is worth about 550,000.
Yep.
Like that, the same exact house. It ain't but been 5 years, and that house went up $200,000 in value. So I could see why somebody of a younger generation would think you would need so much money, because you know, like when my dad bought his house, I think his house was like 98,000, four bedroom house in Compton. I think that same house is worth about $1 million and change now. So, you know, for them to consider themselves to be successful in today's times with the prices of things being so much, and even the lifestyle of these younger people, like nowadays, I'm hearing a lot of people valuing travel, and travel is very expensive. So if somebody wants to say go to Dubai or go to, you know, Mykonos, Greece, places, you know, like this, like Bora Bora and all that, those are, you know, $20,000 trips if you want to have fun out there. So I feel like that's why they think that it takes so much money to be considered successful.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're not looking, but they're not being realistic. And I mean, again, today I literally was looking at the minimum wage, you know, like the labor thing that you have to put on the wall at the office. So I was looking at that, and it was like, so in the state of Florida, by 2026, every job has to be at $15 an hour for the minimum wage by 2026. And then at 2027, it has to go up to, it will be adjusted according to inflation. And then it stipulate, but if you are a tip paying job, because I remember when I had a friend who was making like $4, but she was a waitress making tips. But if you are a tip paying job, their minimum wage is like $8.80 something cents. So where are you living? If that's the, you know, like where are you living? I mean, what you just said, Uncle Dolomite, with how much houses cost, that's why they're saying the inventory is there right now, but nobody's buying. And especially like in this state, you can't even get homeowners insurance. So you can buy a house, but you can't even put homeowners insurance on it because all the insurance companies pretty much left the state. We have to take whatever the state gives you in retrospect, and it's ridiculous. My little house has grown at all, but my property taxes are charged for this little house. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. And so a lot of people are like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy over there. I was looking at trying to buy a fourplex, but why would I do that? Homeowners insurance is it's going to price me right out. And don't get a condo where you have to have an association fee on top of it. I can pay off my condo and still lose it because of association fees. And then you got the crooks that steal the association money. Something really needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
You know, so
I agree.
There's a lot going on out here.
We had two comments. Juan said, do they even understand what it takes to make that salary? And then Demetrius said, most of them likely have no idea, Juan.
But the thing is, and you know, this was a conversation that like me and my dad had. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to become a millionaire, but it's practically impossible to become upper middle class. Like if you ask these little kids nowadays what they want to be when they grow up, you know, when we was little, we want to be a firefighter, police officer, you know, stuntman in movies, a ninja, dinosaur. All these kids now want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
If you ask all your little nephews and nieces, and they gonna say, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a professional TikToker, because they see this kid, Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat is making like $5-10 million a year playing around on YouTube. These little kids good at Fortnite, making $2-3 million a year playing Fortnite. So
Now,
that's what these kids are looking at.
here it is. I'm a content creator. I ain't making $2 million a year playing Fortnite. It pisses me off.
That's what I tell my kids all the time. I'll be like, y'all see your daddy hooking up this camera and this microphone. I'm a content creator too. Daddy ain't making nothing. Daddy got to drive
Right,
trucks.
right.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the economy of content is driven towards some of those younger demographics. And I hate to say it, some of the more superfluous types of information. If you want to rumor and gossip and
Yes.
cause problems, people flock to that negativity. But if you want to have a grown-up conversation and talk about some things that may be thought-provoking or mature, people don't click on it because you got a lot of younger people and a lot of millennials and younger Gen X's, Gen Zers that are online. Like you said, Dolly, it's Fortnite and it's whatever else they into, more so than the actual grown-up conversation.
Right.
For us at our grown age to make 2 million on in content, we have to be at it and we have to have we have to be doing something consistently,
Right.
right? It's not. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's not an overnight thing. And so, I would tell a young person, if you really want to be a streamer like Kai Cenat, you better start when you're 8. And
Yeah.
and, and
He
by the
started
time
at
you're
about
18,
12.
you'll have that Kai Cenat following. It took
Right.
years to get there,
Yeah,
and consistency.
that's what I tell my
Consistency, that
kids all
word.
the time. I'll be like, these people look like they young, but I'm like, Constant, I've been doing this about 12 years.
Yeah.
Like he got on still as a young man, but he started as a, junior high school. And now
Exactly.
he's an adult and he just getting on.
And you know who invested in him in junior high school? His parents.
See,
So it's not like you just get a camera and you're Kai
right.
Cenat. No, somebody bought him games, got him internet time, had a nice household for him to live in wherever he was, and I don't know his story, but a lot of times, man, these middle class and upper lower class kids are not thankful for the hard work their parents put in to get them, that transformer or
Yes.
that Fortnite or whatever the game is in today's world. For us, it was Transformers and, GoBots and G.I. Joe.
Showing your age.
And
Hey, it
one
is what
more
it is.
one more thing I want to add to that, Dave. And then I'm about to show my age again, my age too. Just when the internet was really starting to come about, remember, I don't know, do you remember Buffy the Body?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So she was making a lot of money doing appearances and whatever, and then the internet came. So now people who see her videos, who used to come out to the premieres or whatever, see her, didn't have to come out to the premieres anymore. They can go and find an old clip or video and watch whatever on the computer and just like. And she wrote up something early. Internet was just getting started with everything. Likes did not equate to dollars. That's what the Gen Z is not understanding. All these likes, not always. How do you make that into money? Sometimes it is when you do the subscribers. I know once you do the subscriber, how long does it take to get to that? We're talking about, I just did a shoot and I need to get paid. I don't want to get a like, I want to get paid. I'm not trying to get 10 years. I need to get paid today. Like by the time you like me 10 years, when I start money from that, I would be in the poorhouse, out in the street in the gutter, asking for a sign. I work for food.
So this goes back to Yvette, the economy, right? The economy of content creation is similar to the economy of beauty for women, and similar to the economy of, I guess, money and youth for men, right? At some point, as a man, you're not gonna be able to run with the young bucks. Your testosterone ain't gonna be like it was when you were 17. You're not gonna be able to run, 4.340, and get tackled by somebody twice your size and pop back up and keep going. At some point, Father Time will slow you the hell down. And at some point with ladies, something similar. So when I think of the body, I forget her name. What was her name? It wasn't Jessie.
Buffy
Jessie
the
the Body
Body.
was Buffy the Body. I think of Buffy the Body when I think of Bernice Burgos, when I think of Melissa Ford, and no offense, but shout out to Melissa because she's podcasting. But when I think about people that started off as video vixens, right, and they were making money in the magazines, and they were on the cover of Black Men and whatever the magazines were back then. What was the one for white folks? We had Black Men. What they have?
Playboy.
No, not Playboy. It was less than that. It
Maxim?
wasn't Maxim. Thank you,
Maxim.
Maxim. So what I'm saying is, right? You have of course your Playboy and Penthouse, which is nude. Then you
Butt ass
had
nigga.
the soft semi nude type magazines that popped off in the 80s and 90s, and Maxim was one, and Black Men was another, and etc. We had a bunch of them. My point is, yeah, you can go and do those gigs at that point in time, but when technology came, if you didn't figure out how to sell those same looks and pictures online, if you didn't find out how to monetize your looks, you could get left behind. So you could have some young chick, I don't know, pick a young chick that blew up on the internet, on Instagram. You could have an Instagram model, and Buffy the Body could be looking at her like, you ain't nothing, you ain't nobody. She's like, yeah, but I've learned how to turn it into money.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this dating thing, if you have a person that says, I need a wealthy man, a man of means, I need a woman that can, do all this stuff sexually, and she looks like a Coke bottle, that's great. But their day will slow down. Their day will, it's going to happen. Some young buck is going to show up. Something new is going to pop up. And what was popping 10 years ago, and they can command all the attention, like you were saying, Uncle Dolomite, man, when they get older and for a man, when he starts slowing down, you can't pull him like you used to. So you got to have more value than just the looks. But sometimes, Yvette, if you get in early, and you pop off on the internet, like let's say a Jake Paul and Logan Paul, you get in early, you hit the internet hard, and you pop off hard. Now, when the internet starts slowing down, and YouTube start slowing down, you can parlay it into something else. You know what, man? I'm gonna act. You know what? I'm gonna be a boxer. I'm gonna do something different. Now you already got the 20 million followers. So now that 20 million followers can turn money into money because you got so many eyes looking at you. You got in the game early, but everybody doesn't strike lightning in a bottle like that. Everyone doesn't find the rich prince, that you can marry, and it's your third marriage. Everyone doesn't find the young, pretty young thing, you know what I mean? And you'd luck up and find it. It don't happen like that for everybody.
Well, it goes back to the example that I usually say a lot of times. I use the CEO. Okay. Say all four of us, we all went to the same school, we got the same grades, but there's one CEO position. How many of us is going to get that position? Okay, so what do the rest of us do? And that's the realization that people need to come to. Not everybody's going to get the baller. Not everybody's going to get the CEO. Some of us going to have to be happy with that taxi cab driver. Some of us is going to be happy with that Hewlett Packard worker. Some of us going to be happy with that executive secretary, that doctor, that lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And and that's okay if you bring the bacon home together, the money home together, and you plan it out properly. You can live a life just as well as anybody else who's wealthy if you do the right things with the money. I just believe that.
Yeah, I know you guys got to go, so I won't hold you. We've been on 90 minutes. I appreciate it. Anybody have any closing thoughts before we end the topic? And I feel like we could have did more, but I think we had a good coverage tonight. I think this is good. We can always come back to the idea of hypergamy, an idea of beauty versus financial stability. We can always do that. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining us, you guys. We're going to be back with another episode. So what we do is we pre-record, and we're going to post this later. If you did see this live tonight, I appreciate you. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on all other platforms. And I didn't even say this, but I will. Make sure you guys, if you want to support, look at that ticker. You can hit us on Cash App at $DaveLifeTV. You can hit us on Venmo at DaveLife. And if you tip and say, hey, this goes to Yvette, it will go straight to Yvette. Right? Cool. So y'all let me know. Please tip Michelle, Yvette, Uncle Donnie. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, everybody, for joining, man. All right. I'll see you guys on Thursday for the next episode, man. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate y'all. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.